Hello guys, today I will introduce to everyone the movie Crazy Max. This cool gray-haired guy with exposed dentures, and this tube inserted, is the immortal Ron, the master of the apocalyptic stronghold. His body was full of tumors, and he had to blow his ashes every day. Wear special transparent armor. From the metal he wore in front of his chest, it could be seen that he had taken a lot of strongholds. He used a skull as a belt, proved extremely ferocious. This is the world of the future. Because of nuclear war, humanity is contaminated with radiation. 90% of real animals and humans died. In the short term, this land has only 3 powers. The immortal Ron controlled the water. Farmers grow ammunition, control firearms, ammunition, fuel control township, in which the power of the immortal Ron is the greatest. After all, water is the necessity to sustain life. He was happy to open the water to the people. Immortal Ron had 2 sons. Because of nuclear radiation, none of them were healthy. The deformed eldest child without legs could not walk. The second was dull and muscular but a handicap. More than 20 years old and still drink human milk every day. Between the people who came from the women in this room. For in order to have a healthy next generation, the immortal Ron spent a large sum of money capturing 5 girls, as a tool to give birth to his children. To prevent them from having an affair, he also made them wear virginity belts. In that era, a strong woman was more precious than 10 gold carts, so the wives were locked in a safe. Ron's immortal power expands like that. Thanks to you boy, all are crazy warriors, not caring about their lives. After being brainwashed by the immortal Ron, while fighting, you boy all jumped forward, wanting to die because of the immortal Ron. If you score, after death, you can enter the divine palace of the dead. It's impermanent glory. These you boys have complete limbs, but their bodies are anemic. Needs continuous blood transfusions. This lizard man is a tramp Max. When he arrives in this area is discovered by you boy. After a pursuit, Max overturns his car and is taken to the stronghold. The doctor who had just checked knew Max had type O blood, which he turned into a universal blood transfusion bag. Max took the opportunity to start running away. A horde of skinheads chased him endlessly. Max stormed out the door, realizing this was a cliff with no way back. Max tried to jump up and hold onto the hook. The skinheads behind them fell straight down. The hook was pulled back by the chain, and Max was eventually caught, turned into another bag of blood. The immortal Ron stood aloft, ordering the chariot commander, tanker drivers go barter with ammunition and fuel. They also conducted the ritual. Elsa drove up the road, but through the telescope Alex discovers that Elsa did not go to the place to exchange supplies. She brought supplies to enemy territory. Immortal Ron's expression changed, and he rushed to the underground safe, opened the 1-meter thick door. Unexpectedly, 5 of his wives were gone. It seems that Elsa made a reaction. The immortal Ron still immediately rallied you boy to chase after Elsa. They controlled several hundred large and small vehicles. Flamethrowers beat the battle drum. Even more eye-catching is that on a chariot, there is a rock and roll who also plays bass guitar, behind which there are dozens of subwoofers. This battle was quite ostentatious, and Max was the most guilty, captured for use as blood bags, tied up in front of the car. Immortal Ron only gave 1 glance. He was extremely excited. He decided that this time he had to sacrifice for Ron's immortality to enter the divine palace. Elsa's fleet of vehicles runs to the territory of the Vulture Drive. A car fell straight into the trap. They drove the hedgehog close to the tank truck and crashed into a motorcycle. Elsa's men firebombed back, but the spiny hedgehog car is not afraid of fire at all. They want to cut the wheels of the tank truck, but luckily the car has protection. Elsa couldn't take it anymore. Open the autopilot, go out to fight back with cannons, causing the car to explode. But there were still 2 Vulture tribal cars following. At this time, you boys' cars chased to deal with the Vulture Drive. One hit an arrow. He sprayed white paint in his mouth just to sign he died for the immortal Ron. All of the U-boys shouted to testify for him. He wielded 2 bars of dynamite, converging with the enemy. At this time, Ron's wives were immortal. Under the tank car suffocated to the point of suffocation. They arrived in the cockpit to find the immortal Ron about to arrive. Elsa drove into a sandstorm. U-boy is determined to catch the villain. Elsa also plunged in. A car was pressed close by Elsa, exploding into the sky. Teo wants to enter the divine palace. Catching Elsa is sure to make a hit. He stepped on the gas, also storming the sandstorm. Spray full of white paint into your mouth. He intends to join Elsa, become a hero. But Max doesn't want to die. He smashed the glass door, avoiding Teo's fire stick. Although the car did not explode, it still crashed into Elsa's car. Have you ever seen a virginity belt? These girls had to wear virginity belts again. The immortal leader Ron fears 5 adulterous wives. Should make them wear spiked virginity belts. When Max carries Teo to find them, it turns out that after crashing his car in a sandstorm, he is not dead. Max pointed his gun at them. Test the shooters. What gun is this? Max told them to cut off the leash. At this point Elsa stormed out, take the opportunity to attack Max. Max is pinned down, and Elsa steals the gun, but realizes there is no ammunition inside. Max rolled over and pinned Elsa down. The girls pulling iron chains on Max, wrestled with Elsa again. The critical moment Teo regained consciousness, the three began to steal guns. At this point the magazine fell off, Max retrieved the magazine. The two worked together, finally controlling Elsa. Teo used pliers to cut off the iron chains that bound the two. Max punches Teo down. He drove away alone. But in less than a minute, the car did not move anymore. It turns out Elsa renovated it. Only she could drive. At this time, Immortal Ron called the leader of the ammunition farmers and the fuel town to come help him pursue. They ran over. Max just gave up the driver's seat. Elsa drives into the canyon, again attacked by motorcycle bandits. They blew up the entrance. As he deftly stopped Ron's men from immortalizing, only the Immortal Ron's chariot could pass through. He began to accelerate at full speed, chasing the tank car, motorcycle robbers, throwing out burning bottles. The hood began to catch fire. Elsa dropped the shovel and used it to shovel sand to put out the fire. Ron's chariot immortalized him. About to shoot, his pregnant wife suddenly came out to threaten him. Immortal Ron ordered not to shoot. This healthy pregnancy, I put in a lot of work. Ron's second son was immortal, sticking his lance straight into the steering wheel of the tank car. The wives cut off the leash with pliers. No longer the steering wheel can still use a wrench instead. At this time a rock appeared ahead. The tank truck swiped against the rock, but the pregnant wife fell from the car. In order not to run over her, the Immortal Ron crashes his car into the cliff. The girl was injured too badly. It was impossible to survive after all. Immortal Ron hugged his wife's body, a corpse of two lives. He was furious. The Maxes are temporarily in hiding. Along the way, Teo is persuaded by Apple to create a counterattack. At this time the car again fell into a swampy area. The leader of the ammunition farmers ran towards them. Elsa used a sniper rifle, smashing the headlights. The fragment just right left his eyes blind. Very well. The leader of the ammunition farmer blindfolded. Turn on blind search. Thanks to a tree, the tank truck finally managed to get out. Max told the girls to go first. He carried gasoline and ran through it in ambush. A few dozen minutes later, he brought a pile of loot out of the firelight. They continue on their way to Elsa's hometown, the Green Land. The Huba tribe told her, the water here has dried up, turned into a piece of golden sand. Elsa was deeply saddened. Max suggested, when the Immortal Ron wasn't in the stronghold, everyone went back there. There was abundant water, food and drink. Everyone agreed to drive back. Along the way, they are discovered by the Immortal Ron. He immediately ordered him to turn around and give chase. The men of the Huba tribe risked their lives to resist. After falling, they got up and shot the Immortal Ron with their guns, but his car had bulletproof glass. Eventually still stabbed to death by the leader of the fuel town, Max's tank engine malfunctioned. To increase speed, Teo lies on top of the car, injecting gasoline into the engine. Ron's U-boy Immortal throws the leash along, hooked to the trunk of Elsa's car, preventing the tank truck from advancing. Immortal Ron sent a team with a long pillar and began attacking them. A wife was taken away, and everyone was stunned. They grabbed Elsa by the neck but are tackled by her with an arrow. Max chiseled a soldier. Another man with a chainsaw attacked him. Max tried to avoid it but fell down. Luckily, Elsa managed to keep him, but Elsa was sneaked up. At this time the car of the leader of the town of Fuel arrived. Max got into the car, throwing the driver out. The leader was a fat guy who had no fighting power. At this time the Immortal Ron chased over. Max uses the leader's name as a shield. Using his foot on the accelerator, I jumped back to the car, but Max was caught. He tried to get out, flying to the highest point. The town chief's car exploded. At this time, the bass guitar player appeared again. U-boy attacked hard. Max steals the fire-breathing bass, also took advantage for a while, but when he encounters Ron's son is immortal. Max struggled scratchingly. Elsa goes to kill the Immortal Ron, but not against the bodyguard. Max slammed on the accelerator, aiding her. The bodyguard fell. Elsa climbed to the door, hooking the hook of the iron chain to the Immortal Ron's ventilator, and threw the iron chain into the axle. The Immortal Ron lost half of his face. Immortal Ron is dead. His son still wants to smash the car. Teo didn't give him a chance to stop the enemy in the rear, deliberately overturning the car at the exit of the canyon. Block the way out. Teo made a heroic sacrifice. Max and Elsa returned to the stronghold. After seeing Ron's body immortal, the people soon hated him, tearing him into 8 pieces. Ron's dwarf son was immortal. Seeing this, trembling, Commander Elsa becomes the new master of the stronghold. She flushed, treated her people well, and Max decided to leave quietly. Continue your new journey. The movie ends. If you see it or everyone, please leave a comment.